I think we're ready to start, Paul.
Well, the cool thing is Josh saw this presentation that I used his thing, and we've been in contact back and forth. And I use him as a great lean thinker. I mean, think about it. Think how simple it is what he did. Most industrial engineers would overlook this whole concept. But he said, let's just totally think outside the box. Let's fill it from the bottom. Everyone goes, no, you can't do that. It doesn't work. Gravity. But Josh says, no. How can we use a simple magnet and make this happen? So the question I have for everyone is, what was it about Josh that allowed him to innovate at this level? Now, I say this because we have 700 products. In 15 years from my garage to 700 products, we develop 30, 40, 50 new products a year. We don't sell other people's products. We have our own products. It's incredible. And the reason we have this innovation is the same reason Josh has it. We've learned to see waste. When you see waste and then you simply fix what bugs you, that's what Josh did. He understood the value wasn't watching the game. The value-added activity was in watching high-performance athlete shoot the ball into the hoop. The value was not in walking and standing in a beer line. So he saw waste, and he fixed it by fixing what bugs him. That's all he did. And when we make lean this simple, with all due respect, because remember, I'm a simple-minded guy, so this is the way we do lean, we simply say, learn the 8 ways. Understand it all starts with when you make too much of something. Then you transport. You put it in inventory. There's a defect. Next thing you know, you got to over-process it. You got to use motion. The customer's waiting, and you're wasting your employee potential. When you see that waste occur everywhere, then you have the power, because of good training, to start fixing those things systematically on a daily basis in a kata, in a routine. That's what we do. Nobody works in our facility until we improve. Nobody works in our facility for 7 years until we 3S our entire facility. Sweep, sort, and standardize everything, make an improvement, then meet, teach, and train, educate our people. An hour and a half later after we arrive here, we start working. Astounding. Because we have the power now to see waste and fix what bugs us. So we spend a lot of money on the front end, and we get enormous rewards on the back end. That's what Josh did. And that's the way I look at it. So this next video, again, my whole first part of the talk is to solidify the concept that lean is very simple, and it's very easy to make it convoluted and difficult for the normal person like me, who's a DNC student, who struggled in high school, who has dyslexia, who is not quick on the uptake, it was not a brain surgeon, to get it. So I like to make things really simple. So whenever I see examples of simplicity played out, I gravitate to it. So all these videos, to be honest with you, they're not for me. All the lean listeners that are kind of digging this whole thing on lean is simple and fun have been sending me these to me. So this one came from one of the guys that heard me speak. I don't know where I was. And he said, Paul, have you seen this lean shooter? This guy's like one of the best shooters in the world. And watch what he does with shooting. You want to be great at shooting? Watch what this guy does.
Get some!
He did 8 rounds on 4 targets in 1.06. The 6 shots, a reload, and 6 shots in 2.99 seconds.
Goodbye. Hi, I'm Jerry Michalak. I've been a professional shooter for over 35 years. Also a member of the Smith & Wesson professional shooting team for over 25 years. I have over 100 national and world titles. I'm also going to give you the value of over 3 million rounds of training time and over 40 years of practice. So when we go out to the range, I'll give you some ideas how to hold, how to execute vision techniques. So let's go out to the range. Okay, we're out on the pistol range, and one thing you want to remember, if you want a performance that you can repeat, you have to use just the minimum it takes to make it happen. If you got to do a whole bunch of stuff, move your head, shrug your shoulders, hunch down, bend your knees, obviously you're not going to be able to do all that and try to remember it and have a good target. So what I'm doing as a professional is taking out everything that doesn't add to the performance. I'll go ahead and shoot 6 rounds on that center target. If you notice my face, I'm not going to have to do anything except to bring the pistol up to my face and make it happen. You notice I didn't have to squat, blink, shrug my shoulders, or duck my head, or turtle. Just bring whatever you have in your holster up to your dominant eye and make it happen. That was 6 rounds on target in the 1/7500th of a second to fire 6 rounds of 9mm on that target there with an M&P pistol. And you notice I didn't have to do a whole lot to make it happen. And that's what's going to be important to you as you progress as a competitor. You don't have to do a whole lot to make it happen. I'm just taking away everything that doesn't contribute, and what you saw right there was pretty easy to do. So didn't have to really strain. Just keep the platform, whatever you have, a revolver, pistol, bring it to your dominant eye and make it happen.
Now that's pretty amazing. Wesson professional shooting jacket on top. That'd scare the hell out of him.
Yeah, that would for sure. And the magic what Jerry did is he understood waste. He understood all the shrugging, the turtling, the standing to the side. He understood all that was waste, and he stripped it all away. He said, put the gun in front of your eye and shoot. Done. And if you do that consistently, so again, it's the same thing at FastCap. When you walk around a facility, people think they're going to see graphs and charts, and they're going to see all kinds of slogans. They're going to see all the 8 wastes pinned up on the board. They're going to see all this stuff. None of it does not exist. The walls are bare. All of it's in our head. We know it. We study it. We live and breathe it every second. We don't need to add all that stuff because it adds no value to what we're doing. It's in our brain. We live and breathe it. We see waste in our sleep. The common thing we say is the way we measure lean at our company is whether or not our people do lean at home. If they do lean at home, we win. We know they really have internalized this, and we built a lean culture. And I can say every person here is thinking lean at home and at work. When they go out to the restaurant, they watch someone serve them. Doesn't matter what they're doing. They're seeing waste, and they're contributing to eliminating it and increasing the quality of their life. So all these improvements are right underneath your nose. I mean, they're just right there. When people say, well, I don't see the waste. I mean, is everything in your life perfect? There isn't anything you don't struggle with? Is everything easy? Well, the first thing that you come across where you struggle, I can guarantee you the process is not fluid, and it needs your attention, your brain power, your genius to improve it. And not just one time, consistently over and over and over again in everything you do. And I say, I just got back from China. I shot this picture about 4 weeks ago, one of the best pictures I've ever taken in my whole life. I ran ahead in a car really quickly, put the camera out the window and snapped this shot. And I said, that's an interesting shot. That really defines what I see is happening in the world. There are the lean thinkers, and then there are the non-lean thinkers. And the lean thinkers are just pulling out and passing by the rest of the world because they're doing things the old way. And the old way is not good enough for the speed at which current society is moving. Everything is changing second by second. And you need to build a highly adaptable, flexible culture that everybody is solving problems. Not a few brain people, not a few people who are in leadership, but every human being is solving the problems, or you're going to get passed by and you're going to be left in the dust. So lean is fun, and this further illustrates a concept. We've kind of beat the dead horse on lean is simple, and this is how easy lean can be and how fun lean can be. The other day I was speaking in the D.C. area, and I was at a conference, and the guy got up and introduced me and frankly gave me the best introduction I've ever had in my entire life, because instead of saying Paul has done this and Paul has done that and Paul has done that, said, I watched one of Paul's videos. And the result was, this is what I did. And he told this story, and I videotaped it. Here it is.
Hi, my name is Jeff Fuchs, and I just wanted to describe a little bit about what happened after I watched the Lean Burrito video. So I'm walking into my favorite place, Starbucks, and I order a drink, and it suddenly dawns on me that there's a lot of waste going on here. I'm getting a paper cup, a paper sleeve, the plastic top, and then I have to tell people what my order is, and they put my name down on the cup. They're wasting a lot of time. They're writing down all my specifics, and it could be a lot less confusing for everybody. So I went in, I bought one of their steel cups, I broke out my label maker, and I put all my information right on it. There's my name, there's all my specifics, 4SL in their code. It's simple, it's hassle-free, it's better for them, it's better for me. And these days, I walk into Starbucks and I'm a rock star.
Oh, that's good. I like that. I don't know about Starbucks. Now we got Tim Hortons, and we got Starbucks. I'm sure there's going to be somebody doing something with Tim Hortons. The lineups there are horrendous. Paul, your video's back in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I understand that Starbucks is doing lean now. I've actually had quite a few phone calls and emails back and forth with Starbucks, and they're on their lean journey. It's very exciting. But I think, again, the important thing there is, number one, Jeff's a big-time lean consultant. He knows what he's doing, but all he did was see waste at a different level. And I'm going to show the Lean Burrito video, the video that influenced Jeff, a little later on in the presentation. But The bottom line is Jeff saw waste like he'd never seen it before. He started saying, wow, look at all that excess motion. Look at all that back and forth asking those questions. And he took action by simply fixing what bugged him, so he didn't have to wait as long. And then the net result was he got some joy in his life. And I think that's really important.
You know, I bet you they find him and they say, Jeff, give me your mug. And they just put it through.
Yeah. Oh, it's that simple. He just needs to walk up and they smile and say, oh, this is the easiest customer I have to deal with all day. This is the one that allows the greatest flow. I mean, that's what lean is. I mean, it just makes work easy. No burden. There should be no burden. And that's where we attack it whenever there is burden. So the other day we went for a loan for our new facility that we're in, and we didn't need a lot of money, but we needed a little bit. And I let 3 banks bid on it. And a very interesting thing happened. 2 of the banks came back with a typical 28, 30-page proposal, but the one banker was smart enough and heard a little bit about me and went on my website and read about it and started reading the book. He goes, oh, my gosh, if I give this guy a 30-page document, he's going to throw me out of his office because that's just total waste. So he went ahead and put all the specifics, all the details I need to know, the term of the loan, early payoffs, APR, the specifics that I needed to know about the loan. Put it on a 1-page document, walked into my office and said, Paul, here's the loan offer. And I looked at him and I said, oh, you're a genius, John. And I took out my iPhone and took a picture of it and handed him the paper back and walked out of the office. The meeting was about 3 minutes long, and he got the deal because he was a lean thinker. Lean applies to everything because everything in life is a process, whether you're boarding a plane or whether or not you're doing loan documents. And inside every process, I don't care what it is, whether you're wiping your nose, making your lunch, cleaning the toilet, or building a rocket. Everything's a process, and in between the start point and the end point of that process is waste. Our job is to have joy and eliminate that waste and improve processes all day long. We say at our company, our job is not to build woodworking tools and equipment. It's to improve the way we make woodworking tools and equipment. Nothing else and nothing less. So what we've done is apply deliberate practice to the way we do lean. So we have this great kata, this great routine. The routine is, as I said, 3S. We sweep, sort, and standardize our facility. We make a 2-second improvement. We meet for a half hour to 45 minutes, teach history, culture, literature, the Constitution, go over all of our lean improvements, talk about any issues, mistakes we have, and then we work. We have a powerful, deliberate practice of learning. And as it turns out, most people, after just 5 years of life, after they've graduated from college and started their career, they quit learning. That's just a statistical reality. They just get comfortable and they just quit learning. But in a deliberate practice or in a lean environment that makes learning the primary thing and people the primary focus, you continually learn. And this is basically what we're doing. And this is a proven statistical reality. And it just so happens we're lucky enough to fall into that routine because of what Toyota has taught us. So our deliberate practice is very simple. We don't 5S, we don't 6S, we don't 8S, we don't 10S, we 3S. We sort. We basically clean everything off of our desk and our work area that shouldn't be there. We sweep, we clean everything, and then we create a standard every day, and then we work, and then we have a meeting, we make an improvement, and we work. That's it. It's so simple. Again, going back to it, we made it accessible for everyone. There isn't anybody that can't understand what it is we're trying to do, and the rest is history. They work as a team, or they can go to work. They can actually, if they got their improvement done, they've sorted their area, and it's time to work, yes, they have the freedom to go to work, but there's so many, we've been doing this for 14 years, and we have this quote-unquote world-class facility that everybody wants to come see. It is a disaster. You can work 8 hours a day making improvements and never end. There's that much stuff to do. So, people are generally doing lots of improvements every day, and we just made the barrier so low. That's the concept of 2-second lean, which I haven't explained yet. When I first started asking people to improve and see waste, they said, well, I don't know what to improve. And I said, I'll make it so simple for you. All I want you to do is make a tiny 2-second improvement. Just move your stapler from here to here so you don't have to reach quite as far. Just save 2 seconds. So simple, anyone could do it. So we made the entry barrier, very, very low. And by doing that, then people started using their creativity. And now, our people save hours a day, not seconds a day, but we just save 2 seconds a day, and the rest will take care of itself. And we measure this by, there's lots of ways to measure it, though we don't really have any graphs on the walls anywhere. In the morning meeting, we look at these kind of statistical things. And the big thing here is the number of mistakes we make. You can see our mistakes just keep going down and down and down and down because our processes get better and better and better, just like the tire change. It's magic. And we keep hammering away at it. We keep perfecting things, and work gets easy. It's that easy. It's that simple. So another way to illustrate the simplicity of life is this, and I think this dovetails beautifully into the lean mantra and what lean is really all about. There's a guy named Rick Warren. He gave a TED Talk in Monterey Bay a while back, and I read his book. It's called The Purpose-Driven Life, and it's the #1 best-selling book in modern history. 60 million copies. I've never heard of any book selling 60 million copies. But the beautiful thing about Rick Warren is he's a lean thinker because he put the total essence of the book in the first sentence of the book. You only need to open the book up and read the first sentence of the book and then close it, and you're done. And if you get the first sentence in the book right, you've got the whole essence of what the book's all about. And the first sentence of the book says, it's not about you. Life is not about you. It's about serving other people. It's about making a difference in this world. And I think that is the beautiful thing about lean is I think Toyota knows that. Toyota knows they're changing the world. The reason why I'm passionate about lean is because I'm helping to change the world. I'm helping to make the world a better place in a very deliberate and thoughtful way because we make it not about us. We make it about helping other people. We come to work, and our goal is to serve one another, our internal customers. I'm there to serve everybody else. I'm not there as the leader. I have no office. There's no plaque on the wall that says Paul Akers, president. I'm standing out the shop floor with everybody else. Everybody walks up to me all day long. I am a servant to my people. My people are a servant to one another, and then beyond that, we are servants to our customer. When the customer calls up, we don't sit there and argue and fight with them. We say, oh, my gosh, we screwed up. We made a mistake. How can we improve? Let me take care of that immediately. We don't want to cost you any time. We cost you time. We'll compensate you for your time and the product that's screwed up. It's all about serving other people. It's not about us. And the more we make it not about us, the more successful we become. When you get that aligned, then you get rid of most of the nonsense that goes on, all the political infighting and everything else. We just look at everyone and say, it's not about you, man. It's about you serving Kathy, about Kathy serving Brady. It's about us serving our customer. All of a sudden, all the garbage goes away. It's very simple. And I love people that make it simple. And what I've noticed is the most successful people in the world make it simple, like Southwest Airlines, what I'm going to talk about in a minute, like Rick Warren, it's not about you. So where are we going? Lean is simple and fun. We beat that dead horse, man. Everybody should know that I feel lean is simple and fun. I've illustrated it through a number of different ways. Now we're going to talk about my lean journey, how I got started in lean and what happened in the transformation in my mind. And then basically a couple slides on learning to see waste. And we've already showed some of those, but we'll look at a few more. So who am I? I'm not a consultant. I don't do this for pay. The only thing I charge for is when I speak because my time is very valuable and everybody would ask me to speak everywhere and I just don't have the time to do that. So I put a really high price on that so that I detract or deter all the people from just getting me running here and there because I really need to run this company and be a part of this company because this is the laboratory for learning. And that's what I really want to be a part of. And I'm not a professional speaker, even though I speak all over the world, but I am a manufacturer. I love making things. I'm a woodworker at my core. I love to build and create things. But the most important thing is I'm a lean fanatic 24/7, and the reason why is because it's changed my life. It's changed the life of thousands of people around the world, and it's just exciting to be in an environment, to be in a state in life where everything is improving and getting better. So 14 years ago, I became a lean thinker, and I went to Japan. We'll go to the next slide here. So in 2000, I won Business of the Year. We were a great company, making a ton of money. Everybody was looking at us going, oh, my gosh, I want to invest in your company. Are you public? You know, I want to work for you. Everybody was just saying, wow, how are you doing this? And, you know, I had a rich background in manufacturing. I kind of knew what I was doing and all that. And we were doing really good. No burning platform when lean came along. So we were a product development company. We made woodworking tools. The first product was a fast cap, a peel and stick cover cap to cover screw holes. Very simple, just stuck over the top of a screw hole inside a cabinet. My next product was a laser jam. My wife and I are holding it there, a laser positioning device, so we can put a laser line on the wall right where I wanted it instead of measuring off it, put a pencil line. Basically kind of a lean product. Both of these products were lean products, although I was clueless. I had no clue what lean was. So we looked really good. If you walked in our facility, the floors were painted. It looked like an aircraft hangar. Everything was hyper-organized. Everything was very disciplined, put away. And, of course, it should have been because I learned from Bob Taylor. I'm a master craftsman. I built 2,000 musical instruments. I built all the furniture in my home. I built my home. I'm just like crazy about building. I knew manufacturing. I wasn't a novice at it. I was really good, and I won a lot of awards and a lot of accolades, and life was good. And we were very organized, but here's the biggest dilemma, and most people get caught up in this. People think, oh, I'm an organized person. I'm an OCD person. I'm already lean. Well, guess what? I'm like the biggest OCD person in the world, and I was the antithesis of lean because lean is not about being organized because you can organize waste, and I was the master of it. And I'm telling you, man, I organized waste. All of our shelves, they look perfect. You can go to the next slide there, George. Everything was buttoned down, faced off, painted floors, inventory perfectly managed, but it had nothing to do with it because I was overproducing like crazy. And the bottom line is when these consultants came into my place in 2000 and they walked around to help me manage some of my inventory issues that I was having, at the end of the walk, they said, hey, Paul, I said, can you help me, Tracy? And he kind of hesitated and kind of this weird pregnant pause. I go, what's wrong, Tracy? And he goes, I don't know if I can help you. I go, what do you mean you don't know if you can help me, man? I'm a award-winning guy, man. Everything's going great. He goes, you're clueless and you don't know what you're doing. I'm going, what? I'm clueless? I mean, I make a ton of money. Everything's going great. Look at this facility. He goes, no, you're clueless and you don't know what you're doing. I said, well, what do I need to do? And he said, you need to learn TPS, lean manufacturing, or Kaizen. I had no clue what he was talking about. As far as I'm concerned, he was speaking Greek, and I'm Greek, and that was a real problem. And so, I was in a world of hurt. I had no idea what this stuff was. And I really didn't know that it wasn't just Toyota that was doing lean. It was Harley-Davidson. It was Porsche. It was Amazon. It was Virginia Mason. It was the Israeli Defense Forces. Of course, all the best organizations in the world were lean except for me. I was clueless. And I go, I got to learn this stuff. And then I went on to further learn that companies like Southwest Airlines that are the most successful airline in the world. I mean, they haven't lost money in like 25 years. Look at the stats here. Go to the next slide here. It's really staggering what Southwest has done. They have 22-minute turns on their planes. They fly one plane. They simplified it. They standardized it. They've always been profitable. They have personal freedom. They're scheduled to make $1 billion in profit this year. This is unheard of. There's an airline out there that even come close to this. The highest paid workers in the world, 11 million passengers a month, more than any other airline in the world, and they're not the biggest. But they're the most efficient and they're the most lean. And, of course, if you fly Southwest Airlines, you know they're great because they're a fun airline to fly. The people have fun. Are they perfect? They're not perfect, but they're so much better than everyone else. It's unbelievable. So I hired these kids to come in, John and Brad Schmidt, to tweak a good company because I figured I had a good company. They came in, they walked around, and they transformed our company into all U-shaped cells, all stand-up. Next thing you know, I was standing up at my desk, just kind of crazy the transformation. I was blown away with the results, taking processes from 45 minutes to 5 minutes. They did it time after time again, and I was a fool at that point. I go, I don't care how many guitars you've made. I don't care what kind of master craftsman you are. I don't care how much furniture you've made. You don't know what you're doing. And I had to come to that realization. I didn't know what I was doing. So at the end of the day, I went to Japan quickly after I learned lean because I needed to get as close to the source as possible. I saw stand-up desks. I saw open communication. I saw a stripping down of all the superfluous things that had nothing to do with anything value added. And I go, wow, these people are thinking at an entirely different level. So one of my favorite companies, Tanak Attack. This is a metal manufacturer and fabricator of electrical boxes. And the place looked like Disneyland without the lines. I mean, murals everywhere, natural light, spit shine, flawless. The employees were totally engaged. They had so much extra time, and they were so profitable, they went out and cleaned the neighborhood around the facility. So for a couple square blocks, they were not only doing their work, not only keeping their facility perfect, but they were cleaning the neighborhood. And I'm going, man, these people are on a whole different level. I went to Lexus in Kyushu, Japan. The smokestacks were painted yellow because they wanted to visually tell the community and the worker whether or not they were polluting. It doesn't take a meter to tell you that. Just paint smokestacks yellow and you'll get it. And this top right-hand picture there was Toto manufacturing, Toto toilets, spotless. I mean, it's the dirtiest process you could ever do in your whole life. Casting of toilets and brass fixtures. you could eat off the floor cleaner than any restaurant I've ever been in. So it was a spotless culture. And then I saw flexibility on a level I've never seen before. Even the soda machines were on wheels. Everything was flexible so you could instantly repurpose any area, clean behind any area, move, change for the needs of the customer in a moment's notice because they understood the power of flexibility. When we went to Toto, this is like the president of the company right there with a badge that says zero. Zero mistakes, zero defects, zero machine downtime, zero safety issues, zero. It wasn't lean, it wasn't Six Sigma, it was zero. They operate at a level so far beyond anything I'd ever seen before. I said, I'm getting on the ship, man, because I'm going there. This is what I want my life to look like. This is what I want my company to look like. And this is the world and sphere of influence that I wanted to be a part of. They standardize everything, even the clocks. At this particular company called Hawks, which made a big impact on it, they had a place for your shoes. They had numbered the clocks in all the different rooms. So there was no way you could screw up everything. Everything was standardized, and work was fun. So in Tanak Attack, here again, they've color-coded, made it visual, the difference between steel and aluminum. Steel was purple, aluminum was blue, and it was very easy to quickly identify what materials they pokiokated it. They removed the potential for defect. They removed all the issues with managing inventory. The acetylene tanks arrived every day just in time. They used to have a whole room that they managed all this stuff, and they realized all the extra space, time, and management of the acetylene tanks cost more than just paying more money for the acetylene and have it delivered when they need it. So they reduced their inventory numbers dramatically through implementing a just-in-time system. And it was just like, wow, these people are really serious about this. So it's all about culture. When we went to Hawks, they made probably the biggest influence on me. Hawks is an electronic manufacturer. They make components for a lot of different companies in Japan. They're competing with the Chinese. They're paying their people about $17 an hour. The average Chinese was making $1 or $2 an hour. They had a very tough time. They're almost going out of business. They implemented lean, and they turned their company around from losing million to making million because they focused on a few very simple things, and they built a culture of continuous improvement. When we showed up at Hawks, the president there in the center got me down on my hands and knees in my suit and made me clean the floor and his toilet. George, there you go. Yeah. And the toilet. This is him. This is the community toilet. No, he had no personal office. He was standing up with all of his other people. It was just the most humble guy. And this is a very significant company. So that's him on the floor. These are some of the other guys on the tour when I took the picture, but I was down on my hands and knees. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Frankly, I was a little pissed when I was on my hands and knees here because I still didn't get it at that point. I was going, this is stupid. This is the slowest way to clean the floor. We can get a floor cleaner to do this. Why are we doing this? But he was trying to teach me humility. If you can't be humble as a leader, if you can't get down and do the same work that you're requiring your people to do, you will never understand the power of lead. Because just today I was on the manufacturing floor in my plant building an AccuScribe with my people shoulder to shoulder, and I realized the struggle they were going through. And if I would not have done that, I would not have seen what was happening. And if I didn't see what was happening, it was more difficult to get change to happen. And I want to feel what my people are feeling. And the first thing you do when you tour FastCap, I don't care who you are, you clean the toilet. It's the first and most important lesson. If you can't be humble, you'll never understand the power of lean. Usually people are shell-shocked at this point in the game, George.
This is Norman, and, I'm only doing this for over 30 years, and I'm absolutely amazed at you. I'm so grateful that I popped in today.
And I am humbled by that.
Paul, it is just absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Thank you, Norman, for everything you've done for me, believe me.
Well, just a couple of things popped into my mind. First of all, I'm very grateful that Paul Everest is there. I haven't heard from him in over 20 years.
Wow.
He goes way back with me, and it's wonderful. But just one thing, just a couple of things. One, I'm working with Shigeru Nakamura, and he said, because somebody said, how do you identify waste? He said, try to envision the ideal. Try to envision the absolute ideal of the way things should be. Then you look at your current condition, and that's waste, is what's left over. But really struggle to get the ideal. And the only other thing that's popped into my mind is what I call the ninth waste, which is management's resistance to change. I'm saying this, but I'm very reluctant to say anything because you're so overwhelming.
Gosh, Norm, that's incredible.
I mean, just thank you so much, Paul. I mean, it's just beautiful what you've done.
Well,
appreciate it.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. That is so cool.
Thank you.
I sometimes think about where I would be in life if I would not have learned these powerful concepts of how to run and manage an organization. And I'm overwhelmed and just feel so lucky that by the grace of God that I stumbled across this whole thing, because I was on a path of success, and I think it would have been vastly below where I am today if I would not have learned, again, what so many people like yourself have brought to the table and brought to the U.S. for us to learn from. So thank you to you. So all Hawks did was they swept, sort, and standardized their facility. And they just did it on a daily basis. And I loved how simple it was. And when I asked the president of Hawks, what happens when Nissan comes here? What happens when all these other lofty companies who are touring there? What happens when they come there? And he simply said, Paul, smart people can't believe it can be this simple. We get degrees of engineering and PhDs, and we're paid to be smart and to have information kind of held within our grasp. But when you make things this simple, then everybody gets it, and the real power is unleashed. And I said, I really like that. And that was what my whole mind changed. We're going to build a culture on a few simple concepts, and we're never going to look back. And people say, well, I'm not a manufacturer. Well, if I just look at most people's desks, the digital junk is just staggering. I mean, I see laptops and screen tops all the time that look like this. It's just a total disaster. There hasn't been any sorting, sweeping, and standardizing of anything. I mean, you open up a drawer, there's 30 pens in there. You go in my drawer, you're going to see that next. Go ahead and pull up this next one. We've brought sweeping, sorting, and standardizing to an art. So this is my desktop on my computer, and I'm constantly sweeping, sorting, and standardizing everything. I mean, I keep it very simple so I can be very productive. When you open up the drawer in my desk, this is what my drawer looks like. The first row is standardized throughout the whole company.
Yeah, so you didn't mention this. They're all stand-up. Everything's stand-up desks.
Oh, everything's stand-up. And that's my desk right there, looking onto the shop floor. I'm right in plain view. I have no special area, nothing. And the first row is all the standardized things. So if I go to somebody else's desk, open it up, I know the scissors are going to be on the right-hand side. I know the Sharpie's going to be there, the pencil's going to be there, the highlighter's going to be there, and the sticky notes, which we rarely use. The second row are my personal things. I have a video camera there, a headset, because these are the things I use on a regular basis. So we have room for the flexibility that individuals might have, but we basically sorted out all the crap. There are no pencil jars filled with pencils. That would be stupid. We have the pencil right where we need it. We use it. We put it back, and we always know it's going to be there. We've created a really high discipline based on the simple concept of sweeping, sorting, and standardizing. Nothing else. We do it on a daily basis. So the president of Hawks said to me, smart people can't believe it can be this simple. And I said, I'm in, because I need it to be this simple. So when people come to our facility, they see our forklifts that are 20 years old look brand new, and they go, wow, I've never seen forklifts look like that. And this is a great little video. Do you have this video to play, George? I think you do.
Well, they saw it during the plant tour, and that's what we
Okay, yeah, so we'll just leave it there. So that's fine. So everything is taken care of. Our forklifts are polished. Everything's painted, clean. Because we say when FastCap gets something, it's the worst it will ever be. We'll buy something brand new, and it'll be the worst it'll ever be because we know we're going to improve everything. So I finished my first tour to Japan. I said, I get it. It's all about seeing waste. That's the key. That's the magic of what Toyota's done. They've created a culture that can see waste, and then they've unleashed them and trained them to continuously improve. So I got back from Japan, and I made this video, and this is when it all started. When I made this cheesy little video with my iPhone. I took out my iPhone. I didn't care if it was perfect. It's not perfect, but it clearly shows seeing waste. Go ahead.
In an attempt to always find waste, this is my burrito that I'm eating. Now, they asked me when I bought it if I wanted sour cream and hot sauce, and I said yes. So instead of putting it in the burrito, they gave it to me in a separate container.
I have an idea.
Next time, put the sour cream and the hot sauce in the burrito. Okay, I just finished my burrito, and this is all the waste. We have the aluminum foil that's going to be thrown out, the paper that's going to be thrown out, the container from the salsa and the sour cream. We have 2 napkins, one I didn't use, and a whole little box here with a plastic fork and a plastic knife, all going to be put in the landfill for one burrito. All I really needed was the aluminum foil to wrap it in, and that was it. Sour cream, everything could have been inside in one napkin. I would have made less of a mess, and I would have been perfect. Look at all the waste.
Check out this waste. We did a spreadsheet. 4 cents for the carton. The knife and fork, 6 cents. Everything added up to 31 cents of waste per burrito. 30 burritos a day, $9.30 times 7 days a week, 52 weeks. $3,385 per store. If you take 31 cents a burrito times 10 million burritos a day in the U.S. alone, that's $3.1 million in the landfill. That's total waste. Okay, I'm back at the local coffee shop, curb shops, and we're going to get ourselves a lean burrito. Watch how this is done. Hi, Gina. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Can I get a lean burrito?
Sure.
I want a burrito with sour cream, hot sauce inside, aluminum foil, and nothing else in one napkin.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks, Gina. Here it comes, the lean burrito. What do we got? Aluminum foil, one napkin. Wow, that's amazing. Look at all the waste we eliminated. With the sour cream and everything inside. Isn't this yummy? Look at this thing. All ready to go, just the way I wanted it, just what the customer wanted, and no more and no less. Well, in my mind, this is the key question I get. Where do I start? And, my leader, my boss doesn't get it. I said, look, every human being, first of all, has a sphere of influence. I don't care if you're a mouse, you have a sphere of influence. Everybody should do one thing, and that is point at themselves, because each one of us have enough waste for 10 lifetimes. We don't need to look at anyone else, bring the waste of anybody else to our attention. We just need to work on the waste that we generate, because we are waste tornadoes. And if you do that, you will become a magnet to everybody else around you, because people love excellence. They love efficiency. They love people who can get things done at a level nobody else can do. And you will become a magnet for success. I say that when people get this and they look at themselves and they're fixing themselves, that they will go to any level in any organization. You could be a low-level manager and you will become the president of that organization if you're serious about doing this, because lean is a magnet for excellence. So what is lean? Learning to see waste and eliminating waste by fixing what bugs you. It's that simple. We teach the 8 deadly sins of waste in a very funny way. We say that all waste, this is my opinion again, this is not necessarily orthodox, but I believe all waste starts from one thing, and that is when you make too much of something. The kingpin of waste is overproduction. The minute you make too many of them, in this case hamburgers, then you got to transport them. Then you put them in inventory. Then you got to build a warming rack and a warming oven. You got to generate the heat to do it. You got to maintain it. So now you have inventory. The next thing is the customer walks up and says, I want a hamburger with no pickles. You have a defect. You have to open up the hamburger. You have to take the pickle out. You have to overprocess it. You have to waste motion. Meanwhile, the customer's waiting because you overproduce, and you're wasting your employee potential. It's that simple. It all starts with overproduction. We poke fun at ourselves because 60% of all of our products are made in our manufacturing plant. It's magical. We have all kinds of cool machinery and equipment. But 40% we import from other countries and companies, right? And in order to do that, they want us to build big batch workers. So we joke at ourselves. We say, we buy too much from China, right? So we overproduce. And then we put it on the water, and it goes in a ship, transports it. Then we get it to fast cap. We put it up in the inventory racks, right? And then all of a sudden, oh, this is a defect. It's from China. So now we have a defect. And then we got to overprocess it, and then we got to waste motion. Meanwhile, the customer's waiting, and we've wasted our employee potential. We poke fun at ourselves. We teach the 8 wastes by telling a story, not by memorizing an acronym, not by making it sterile, but by poking fun at ourselves. That's the way we teach the 8 wastes. And because of that, it's riveted in our head. And we use videos to illustrate that, as you saw with the lean burrito. We've made over 1,000 videos, over 1 million views. We're making videos so fast it makes our head spin. I think we've made over 5, probably 8 videos today already have been done. We're just cranking them out left and right because we keep it simple. We use an iPhone. We use iMovie to do it. We don't make it fancy. We don't make the barrier of entry so high that nobody can do it. We make it so everyone could do it. So one of the things we identified as a waste, when people went to our website, they would say, what is FastCap? I don't really understand what you guys do. You guys all over the board, man. You make all these cool woodworking tools. And, what is it that you guys do? And we go, that's waste. The minute they're asking a question and the answer's not there, it's waste. You have to read down in text and kind of decipher it. So I decided to do a walkout video. When you click on our website, I walk out. And I tell you what FastCap is about. I tell you that we're a lean company. And then to make it fun, we put a little bomb in the bottom. And if you get tired of listening to me because I'm droning on and on, you click on the bomb and you can blow me up. And if you're really sadistic, you can make me walk out multiple times and keep blowing me up. And here's the video showing how that works.
Hi, I'm Paul Akers, and welcome to FastCap's website. What is FastCap? We're a product development company specializing in innovative products for the professional woodworker. Where do we get our ideas? We get them from people just like you. People call me up on the phone, they send me a video, and they show me all their cool innovations. And if we like it, we put it on the market. We develop it, we manufacture it, and we sell it worldwide. We're in 40 countries, 2,700 distributors all over the place. Hi, I'm Paul Akers, and welcome.
So it's really that simple. Lean is fun. The customers were asking a question. They didn't have the answer. Obviously, there's room for improvement. So we did a walkout video.
Paul, as Mr. Panos said on YouTube, you are Greek. You are correct.
Certified, I always say certifiably crazy, too. That's the best part.
You have a wonderful day. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, George.